Hey, everybody. Might be coming to see you, Jim. Anyway, now I'd like to introduce myself. My name's Rodney Ashcraft. I was on county council for 8 years. We had some experience in looking at the comprehensive plan. When we were looking at it, we didn't think that it would go to this level. We didn't think it would go this far, this quick. I'm brand new up here. I might have 30 days in my term. I don't know. Tiffany, do I? So, yeah. So, I don't do math good. What's 376 divided by 30? I haven't read it. So, anyway, I've been trying to look at people's... Are you timing me? Because I got 2 minutes. Okay. So, anyway, I'm going to have to vote against just based on just based on my experience, how much I know about this whole thing. I think it's way too fast. All due respect, I'm sure there's a few members up here that probably agree with me. So I would ask everybody to please respect, the members up here. It's unpaid. This is harder than council, by the way. Anywhere, at least this month it is. I think there's probably other people that agree with me that are on the commission. I'm hoping, but we might be a minority vote. So just because I'm down here, don't stop. Okay? Anyway, and all due respect to my fellow commissioners, man, I love you guys. You guys have been working hard, but look, we got it on our lap, so we're going to have to look at it seriously, consider it, and I think we'll make a good decision. So that's all I have to say. And hope I'm not fired, but whatever.
Last call, is that all mine? No more hands? Okay. We appreciate your comments. They really wasn't said in vain. We as I said before, we're going to go through all of these and look at them and consider, and we're going to go through the NMO and make choice and make decisions and so forth. And we appreciate all your input and your courtesy and bandwidth on this. If you have any more, send them up to Kevin, and we will review those as well. Now, we're just not wasting time or just talking, but we plan to, do what we can do and what we need to do and things that we have to meet the quorum that we have.
I'd just like to encourage everybody. We do appreciate all of your comments. We do read them all. We have them all right here. I've been reading them for several weeks. Just please keep in mind that this is the start of this with the Planning Commission. So give us constructive comments. If you don't want it, that's fine. But this doesn't represent the entire Edgefield County. We want the whole county's input. So give constructive criticism, and we'll listen to it. Thank you.
Okay, at this time, the public hearing will be closed out. We're down to Planning Commission discussion. Any discussion from the commission? We're down to discussion from the commission. If someone has any comments. Any comments?
My name's Todd Brown, and I'm the commissioner, obviously, for District 5. Most probably know I grew up here. Everyone knows I'm sorry. I'll start over. My name's Todd Brown. I'm the commissioner for District 5. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm a part of a development here called Tavern Hill. It will be a beautiful neighborhood. And I will tell you this, and this is my, I want to be honest. First of all, I do not disagree with the speed of what this is going on. I am in agreement with you all that this is at a speed that is not good for input. From a District 5 standpoint, you can have cell phones and emails. I would love, as this lady spoke, was to sit down and talk, because that's what, honestly, between us and everything else going on, that's what hasn't really happened, is people coming and talking. Now, I understand, what I can appreciate is the fact that the emotions are high, which means it means a lot to you. And it does me too. Don't forget that I live here too. I grew up here. I know back ways to everywhere through here. I played basketball with Big Stevens Creek Baptist Church against Sweetwater right here on this court. My father built this building we're sitting in. We have deep roots here. This is not about us versus you kind of. This is us together coming up with what really is good for Edgefield County. Now, you asked me, why do I personally think this is good? And I want to tell you this, because I want you to look at these maps, okay? And this is why we want to be very specific about where all this stuff is happening. One, we do have to deal with the rule of law. You know, we have police, we have ambulances, we have to pay taxes. There are things of law. But what it doesn't mean is that it has to be run over us. We're here because we want to do the right thing for the entire community. Y'all may not believe that, but I can promise you in my deep heart, I do. You know, Rodney, I understand from his heart. It's like, it's to a speed, and I've made that known to the guy who appointed me here, and I've made it known to the staff that I'm concerned about the speed at which we're going here. Now, it doesn't mean we're going to take extra long, but there is a concerted effort of trying to get this, which represents Edgefield County. So, just quickly, why I think it's good is because if you look at the map of what we have currently, it's all white here, okay? I'm concerned that by not placing zoning, and I know that's like a curse word, okay? But by not having something that, and believe me, I personally believe that it is a protection and not some sort of restriction. Because if you read this and understand what it does to the unzoned parts of the county, it doesn't tell you whether or not you can raise chickens or not. That's not what this is telling you. Look, and let's put it like this. If it does, we're going to work through it. You know, let's talk about it. But we're not going to we're just not going to throw spars back and forth. We need to be constructive about it, okay? But my concern is that what can happen is that we open ourselves up as a county to any and everything that can come on this property called Edgefield County if we don't do something that gives some level of organization to what's there. This is not meant to restrict what you do on your property. And like I've told you, and what I'm repeating, is that if it does, we've got to figure out a way, because we're here. I can promise you, I know I've only been on here 2 months, okay? But what I'm telling you is that we want to work through it from District 5. I'm here to understand and listen and to understand about it. So.
What's driving the speed of getting this put through so quickly? What's the driver for the speed?
Some of it has been because it's to meet a certain deadline for budget. But to me, again, this is too important. You know, I want to sit down and understand this thing too. I've spent 2 weeks, literally, out of what I do, I probably spend about 4 or 5 hours a day reading this and trying to understand what it really is doing. So I just want to say that I'm in Rodney's boat of this, is that the speed I want to look at, because I do feel it's too fast. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Joel Presley. Just want to echo what Todd has said for the most part. If this plan were implemented, something like you see on the map here, what it would do to me financially is really to continue what I'm doing right now, which is focusing my efforts elsewhere, just like somebody else mentioned earlier. My efforts in Edgefield County, I love small farms. I love cattle farms. I think what Mr. Ford was talking about earlier were like feedlots, not cattle farms, I think. But I completely agree with Todd and the others up here that my hope and the people that I have helped buy land in Edgefield County, many of them are running farms, running small family businesses. Those are the things that I care about. My land right now that I live on would be affected by this. And there's questions of whether I could run cattle on my farm. And I've been discussing that, trying to get clarification on that. I've been here about 90 days. So I was brought into this process and have done my best to catch up. But I just really don't understand how placing 90% of the county into rural agriculture, conservation, small uses puts me in a position to develop land. It really doesn't. I have been a member and a supporter of 3 of the major conservation groups in the Southeast region for 25 years. I have helped put hundreds and hundreds of acres under permanent conservation so they could not be developed. When I do get involved in development, which is a part of my business, not all of my business, we many times put conservation measures into the development. You know, the Walmart development down here at Exit 5, obviously that was not an ideal place for conservation, but we have 115 acres there that was set aside permanently in a place that some of you might know as Uncle Francis Pond. I just want to assure you that I'm open. I have spent the past 2 weeks reaching out to people that I know in Edgefield County, asking for input, asking to please read it, to please tell me your honest thoughts. I'm a big-time proponent of liberty and property rights. The friends that know me that have moved into Edgefield County at my recommendation are the same way. Anything we can do to simplify and create property rights and facilitate you all to do what you do on your land, we want. I want. While at the same time trying to protect you from things that you don't want, like solar farms, you know, those type things coming right into the middle of where you live that affect you. It can be hard to reconcile those two things. It can be hard to give you complete freedom to do anything you want to do and then take your neighbor's freedom away to not lease his land for a solar farm. We're trying to look at how that can be done. How can we do that? If we leave it like it is, we have no means that I'm aware of. Now, I'm open to be educated. If there is a way, I want to hear it, honestly. But we're looking for a way to do both. And by being here and spending time doing this, I'm not focused on my business. I have many things I could be focused on and need to be focused on. I truly want to help. I truly am willing to set aside things that might make money in order to do what the public says they want, which I think is largely in the comp plan. What we want to do is try to implement the comp plan if that is in fact what the public wants, which I think it is. It sets aside 85 to 90% of the county into agriculture and conservation uses. And again, these are my impressions. This is what I think. I'm open to learn. So there's a lot more to say, but
we've heard the comment from the commission and so forth, and we're looking forward. You're going to have a small group meeting next week, and ask you to participate in those, and we're going to follow up and do some research and do some reorganizing and so forth, and we're going to do what? Yep, okay.
I'm sorry, I forgot one thing that I wanted to make clear. My understanding is that we can't vote. That's not what this planning commission can do. We can't do it. The vote is with county council. So what we can do, what legally we can do, is recommend something to county council. That's what we can do. We're working with the same timeline that you are. So please have patience and understanding, and understand we're digging through the same things that you are, seeing a lot of the same things you are. We can't vote. That cannot happen here. That's county council. So please understand that.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Commissioner Tracy Hamilton from District 3. I haven't seen any of the residents from my district, but I haven't been on here long, so I didn't have very much to input. But I am a resident of Edgefield County. I live in the small town of Johnston. I too have had problems. Solar, I didn't agree with, didn't want them for myself nor my parents. Found out a little things about them that I didn't care for. There are other things that, we want to put in our yard that we were told that we couldn't at the time. So I understand where you are. I really do. I put down my mask so you can see my face. I really feel where you are. Every meeting that I come to, I don't have very much to say, and I guess they kind of wonder, why isn't she saying anything? I let the men folk kind of handle the roughness, although I can handle myself. But at the same time, just because I don't say anything doesn't mean that I disagree with you. I feel every last one of you. The young lady, when she came up here crying, I felt her pain. I really do. And I understand because I've had the same issues. But just like they said, we're not making decisions. If we could throw it away, well, I probably would throw it away. But nevertheless, we can't. So we have to come together and try to find a way to make this work. And it can work if we work together. If we're divided, then you're going to have everything, like you said, you can have, I've read one of the ladies say you have hoochie bars and everything else at your property. I don't have thousands and hundreds of acres of land, but I do have land. And I too want to know what's next to me. I do have grandchildren that I want over, and I want to have some control over what I put on my land. Like you're taxpayers, I am too. But if I can sit and listen to everybody, it don't take arguing, it don't take fussing, it don't take belittling. That accomplishes nothing. We don't have, this is something that we take our time out to do also. I have a lot of things that I could be doing too. I have children, I have grandchildren. But I still come here because we care. We're the only two females up here. Y'all think it's good for, we feeling what y'all feel. We may be against something, but they for it. But I'm still going to hold my ground now when it comes to what I know is best, or what I feel is best for Edgefield County, because I live there. And I live what you all live. Might not live in $1 million home, but it's my home. And I take pride in it. Yes, ma'am. So grant us that chance to do our job. We were appointed. We don't get a paycheck. We were appointed to do this. So I have to reschedule. I work at Doctor's Hospital. That's who pays my bills. So when I come here, I don't want to hear people come on now, y'all. We have to be civilized with this. All the name, and then we're in a church. Now, I'm from the country. Some things you just don't do in the church. At least not in mine, no way. And it bothers me to see it happening. We're human beings. We have to work together. And that's what I want to see for Edgefield County. I feel some type of way. In Johnston, we don't get nothing. You want to come to Johnston? You want to really live in the country? Come to Johnston. See, there's nothing there. And when I asked the question, what's going to take place in Johnston in the next 10 years, you know what said? Nothing. Because they don't feel there's nothing there. You think I don't feel some type of way? I do. But I have to sit back and I have to wait and see what's going on. See the whole picture, what's taking place. There's nothing wrong with you coming up here speaking. But then when you're badgering and badgering, even badgering us, that's wrong. Because there are a lot of us up here that are for you. But when you come up and do that and you say commission, that's part of me. And that's not fair. That is not fair. So give us a chance. I promise you, if it ain't right, I'm not going to agree to it. I'm not going to agree to it. Now, I might be out rules, and I'm not scared of how I vote, because my vote is my vote. And can't nobody sway me to vote. So that's what I want. I'm for you all. I really am. Don't make no difference about the color, sex. It doesn't make a difference. I'm for what's right. And it's got to be right. Tight, but right.
We appreciate all the comments, and at this time I think we have all our business taken up, and we're just going to continue to do what our charge is. And Carl, I know I've been around. I'm the oldest one on the committee up here the longest, and I've been through all this, but we've got to have some protection to protect the landowners. In order to do that, we got to have some regulations. Without regulation, we're sunk. But we're going to do what's best for the community and for what Edgefield County. We're going to consider all of this and come to our meetings and sit in our discussions. And that's the problem being that people didn't come to meetings, but we come, and you can help us to solve this problem. And we appreciate you coming. And at this, I'm going to ask a motion to adjourn. Motion second adjourn. All in favor, right hand. Meeting adjourned.